Welcome everyone, my name is Claudia Curiel. I'm a reporter and anchor for Telemundo, Washington, D.C. And welcome to the 3rd Annual Diversity in Construction's Gala reception here at the beautiful, top, yes. And we're here at the beautiful National Association of Home Builders headquarters. And I'm very honored to be here because the construction industry actually holds a close place in my heart. I grew up on many construction sites. You don't know this about me? No. My mother is an architect, and she was constantly dragging me to all these construction sites that she was supervising and working on. And to be honest, I really didn't like it. As a child, there's nothing to do on a construction site, right? Think about it, there's nothing to play with. But as the years passed and I grew older, it became somewhere fascinating to be, just to see somewhere that started off as nothing become these extraordinary homes and buildings. So, and that's thanks to everyone that works in the construction industry. So thank you to all of you. And I mean, in retrospect, I don't know how wise that was to take a small child to these construction sites with all those paint fumes and power tools. But my mother clearly wasn't worried and nothing happened, and I'm here today, and I'm very happy to be here today to recognize those that truly deserve to be honored, that have done some amazing work, and not just anywhere, but here in the capital of the United States. So now I'll pass it on to Jose Suero.
And I'm Jose Suero, the Managing Director of Metro DC Hispanic Contractors Association. Isn't this a wonderful place? I mean, I love this place. I'm falling in love with this. We think we have a very sentimental and passionate evening for you. But first off, and hold your applause here, we want to give a heartfelt recognition and thank you to our 3 honorees and their companies. Carl Jones, Monumental Concrete, Joe Rodriguez, Fort Myer, and the incomparable Evelyn Ross is with him, and Angel Rubin, and the table up front, Ruben and Janeiro. An applause for these 3 people.
We would like to also express our deepest appreciation to our gold sponsors, of course, the National Association of Home Builders, and Mr. Dean Mon, Turner Construction, Kevin Sharkey, the amazing Carolyn Ellison, and our friends at Toy, Stephen Courtian, and the Building Trades Unions.
So we also want to give a shout out to our friends at Flaherty and Collins, who've been with us from the very beginning. Where's Flaherty and Collins? It's the Construction Alliance table. There you go, back there. The queen of our community, Miss Sonia Gutierrez and the Rosario School. Our media sponsor, Telemundo, right here, Telemundo. Our sister organization, the Greater Washington Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Nicole, the new CEO. Stand up and take a bow, Nicole. The chair of our board, Carlos Perdomo. Carlos, you want to stand up? And last but not least, the mayor of the District of Columbia.
And now we would like to welcome Stan Jackson, CEO for Anacostia Economic Development Corporation and Chairman of the Construction Alliance Board, as well as Edwin Villegas, CEO of Winmar Construction and President of the Metro DC Hispanic Contractors Association. Please welcome them to the stage.
Where's my friend?
We practice this as we see. Go ahead.
First, let me say that this is truly overwhelming. This evening, and our honorees, we really want to say to you that you were more than pioneers. You were sort of trailblazers, and individually, you did not just become successful in your own rights, but you touched many people in your journey. And so to that, we are truly humbled to say thank you for accepting this honor. But our purpose for being here is driven by a number of factors here. One is that we understand that in life and in history, there are periods and times that have become unique and iconic. If we look back in the period of time where our pioneers, our trailblazers took advantage of disruptive, innovative challenges and legislation to level the playing field in the construction arena, which gave rise to their individual growth, but their shared value to share that growth with other people. We now fast forward to a moment in our history where we have once again a mayor who has the vision to recognize how do we leverage this moment in our history of economic renaissance in a way to expand her clarion call to all of us, and that is to create pathways of prosperity for the community of Washington, D.C. And she challenges us to do that by recognizing that those of us who have capacity to share and network with small businesses, we do support the theory that small business is the engine that hires local folks, and local folks is what we need to impact here. And so today, what we're saying is our purpose is multifaceted. Not only do we want to give well-belated umbrage to our honorees, but we also want to say to you that this is a purposeful and intentional moment to seize this opportunity to expand economic prosperity to our broader communities through expanded partnerships, through networking, through training, through mentoring, through apprenticeship program. And so with that, I can go on, but I want my partner to talk a little bit about why we're here as well.
That was amazing. That's the truth. It's the truth. So I remember when I was called to become president of this organization, I remember I was like, well, I definitely fit a lot of those boxes. I actually go by Latino, but whatever, we'll go Hispanic. So I remember saying, well, if I'm going to represent the minority community, I said, well, we have to bring in the majority minority group to this. And that's when I reached out to some friends and I said, listen, let's put this together. And I think that our group took it the next step, Carlos, Jose, and they said, let's create this event. And I think it's been amazing. I really look at the crowd and I say there's a diverse group. I don't really see, when I'm talking to my partners in growing, I see one color. I truly see one color. I do wish you spoke a little more Spanish, but it'll be okay. All of us. I know. The mayor, I taught her a couple words, so she's definitely going to be, you can test her later. So, but I want to make sure that we understand what we're here for. The people that we're honoring today definitely laid the foundation for people like me. I think I represent a lot of the contractors in our association, either our parents or we came to this country. Many years ago, were given a dream, and I think the dream can be attained as long as we continue a path forward. And everybody in this room understands relationships. And I think what Stan was talking about. And so I want to make sure that we appreciate everybody that's helped us. I definitely thank a lot of people, and I try to do it every day. Sometimes I forget, but I do go back to thanking everybody. So tonight, I want to make sure that we thank the group that's led us forward, and the people that are here that are being recognized, and the mayor and the officials that are here tonight that are supporting our group. So thank you very much.
Okay, and we want to introduce to this beautiful facility the host for this evening, the person that's invited us here tonight. A welcome, please, for Mr. Dean Mon, Vice Chair of the National Association of Home Builders. Thank you. Welcome all of you to the National Housing Center. I am Dean Mon, the third Vice Chair of NAHB, and the first Hispanic Latino to serve on this position. It is a real privilege to host this gala celebrating diversity in construction. Diversity in our industry is very important to me as a builder of Cuban descent. We have DC Mayor Muriel Bowser here with us today, and other esteemed guests here with us to help us celebrate. 3 men who are iconic industry leaders will be honored tonight. You heard their names before: Carl Jones, Jose Rodriguez, and Angel Rubin. A round of applause for them, please. I mentioned that diversity in construction is personally important to me. It is also a priority for NAHB. We're a 140,000 member federation, over 700 associations throughout the country, and we can and we will do better when it comes to diversity in our members. The Federation's 75th anniversary this year gives us a good opportunity to reflect on our past and consider the road ahead. To keep home construction on an upward trajectory, we need to cultivate tomorrow's industry leaders, and we must work to ensure these professionals represent the consumers that we serve. That is why NAHB has several initiatives targeting our future leaders. We have a Young Professionals Committee, a wide variety of scholarships, a student chapters program, and other activities focused on education and career placement. NAHB is a lead sponsor of tonight's event because we know the value of diversity in construction. We know that when a group of leaders of different backgrounds come together, they bring a variety of perspectives that help them find innovative solutions to industry hurdles. And that includes how to best provide homes and rental housing for families nationwide. Thank you again for the opportunity to host this event. I'm very much looking forward to tonight's activities. Thank you.
And now we'd like to welcome to the stage Pedro Alfonso and Carlos Perdomo.
This evening we want to, and I'm glad to be here with my good friend Carlos Perdomo, to introduce a person this evening that I think all of you are familiar with, care for, and are proud to have as our mayor. Muriel Bowser this evening is joining us, and she's joining us as a leader of our city that has prospered over the last 4 years in many, many ways. I think when we think about positioning a city that could be in a position that could actually compete for the headquarters of Amazon, you know we have arrived. In the scheme of it, I would say, you know, in this city and in this country, you could be a very lucky city if you can have 3 things in a mayor. 1, if the mayor can deliver city services and manage the city in a way that it delivers for its citizens. In that sense, we're lucky. 2nd, if the mayor could deliver financial management systems and financial stability for his citizens, I think we're lucky. And finally, if we can have a mayor that we can be proud of, not only here in the city, but around the world, we would be lucky. And we will be very lucky if we can have her for another 4 years.
Those of you that know me know that I really am not someone who talks a lot, but as chairman of this association, I sometimes get called to speak on, and I'm like, yeah, you know, and I let somebody else talk. But I wanted to make sure tonight, having this opportunity and the honor to present our mayor, not to take the easy way and let Pedro or someone else do all of the talking, because I think I would regret that for a long time. I made that mistake with Marion Barry a long time ago, and I never had the opportunity to thank him for changing my life when I was very young, and through his programs. It's what made me go off on my own and start into business. So I said, I'm not going to make the same mistake with our mayor here, and I'm going to get up and make sure to say a few words to everybody. So talk about diversity and economic inclusion. It's definitely represented here tonight, whether that's with the largest contractors in the country like the Turners, who have diversity in their workforce and were able to put together and help with a Spanish-speaking program with their Hispanic engineers and others who translated and helped us to put together this program, or through our pioneers and the people that we're honoring tonight, or so many of us here, Pedro and so many others that are examples of economic inclusion and what you can do if you just work hard and follow the lead of our great mayor here. So I just wanted to make sure and recognize you, Mayor. Hope I do you the honor of being able to do that. You know, when she was elected, and I was looking at some different things here, you know, she talks and she pledged pathways to the middle class for DC residents and small businesses, fostering a culture of inclusion, transparency, and action. I don't think anyone here would disagree that she doesn't mess around. Through her initiatives with small local business, she's paving the roads of opportunity so that a greater base of small businesses and DC residents are afforded those opportunities, the ones that we want, those opportunities, they're there for us with the mayor. I want to thank you for taking the helm, your leadership in transforming Washington, D.C. into the greatest city in the United States. You have our unconditional admiration and support as you continue the great work that you're doing.
Well, good evening, everybody. I am just very excited to be here to help the Hispanic contractors celebrate at this wonderful gala. I am thankful to the National Association of Home Builders for hosting us. And I was telling Mr. Munn, I thought I had been in every building in the District of Columbia, but I don't think I've been in this one. So we are just very delighted to gather here today. When I look around this room, I see so many friends. Folks that in my 10 years in elective office that I've seen on construction sites, I've seen in council hearings, I've seen in my Ward 4 council office, I've seen at your locations, and I've seen at ribbon cuttings celebrating DC families having new families, or DC school children having new schools, or swimmers and recreators that have a new pool. When I look around this room, I see billions of dollars that the district government has spent, and spent very well. And because we have spent those dollars, you have been able to build fantastic businesses, hire DC residents as employees, make sure families can pay their mortgages and put their kids through college, have a real pathway to the middle class, and live the great American dream. So I'm here to salute you. Please give our honorees a round of applause. I think, too, that it's so important that we know each other. So when we're talking about opportunities that are available in DC, you know my agency directors and they know you. One thing I know about the small business community is that you don't want special treatment, you want fair treatment. And you want the government to recognize your value and to make sure that our policies and initiatives work for you. And every time, and my cabinet members will attest to this, when I'm hiring people, I make sure that they share that value too. And that is why I appointed Greer Gillis to be the director of the Department of General Services. Greer, stand up so everybody can see you. And we're also represented here by the Department of Small and Local Businesses. Tanae Dolphin is here. She is the deputy director. I think she's here. And I hired a new director who I also want you to meet. Her name is Christy Whitfield. And so you will get the opportunity to see her. Polly Donaldson is here, who is the director of our Department of Housing and Community Development. And my chief of staff, John Falchicchio, is also here. So I want it to be very clear that our administration is focused and not just with lip service, but in real policies, procedures, and the way that we work with you on making sure small businesses can thrive. Some of you would have heard me tell this story that I watched Vince Orange, you know our friend Vince Orange, right? When I wasn't on the council and he was. And he would hold hearings as the chairman of the Committee on Government Operations. And he would have hearings where he would call every agency director into the hearing and ask them why they weren't working with small businesses and why they weren't hitting their goals. And I promised myself then, if I ever had the opportunity to be mayor, that no council member would be able to call any one of my agency directors down to the council and ask them why they weren't meeting their goals. In a couple of months, we are going, actually in a few weeks, we're going to produce our third, what we call Green Book, which is basically an opportunity guide, where every agency in the government is asked and we publish their acquisitions. They forecast their acquisitions for the coming year. And then also in that book is their small business, their CBE spending goal. And also in that book are all of the areas where we cannot find CBEs to work with us. And there are billions of dollars of opportunity available just in that Green Book. And so we focus monthly, sometimes weekly, on making sure that we are creating more and more opportunities for DC businesses. I've had the opportunity just tonight to hear from many of you your long experiences of working with DC government. And most of those experiences date back to the first Marion Barry administration, don't they? And I just want to say I see that Cora Masters-Berry is here, our former First Lady, and we should give her a round of applause. But Mr. Berry was very focused on this key value that I share, and that is, in a city as prosperous as ours and growing like ours, it is our responsibility to work with our own businesses. It is even our responsibility to preference our own businesses, because we know that our own businesses hire DC residents, and the dollar that our taxpayers provide us circulate more in our own community and make the district an even more robust and dynamic place to live and to do business. So I want to thank Mr. Berry for putting the early infrastructure in place so that we had a minority business office. Now we have a Department of Small and Local Businesses. We have a CBE program, and we believe in enforcing it and investing in it. I've told many of you that I would defend until the last day the district's ability to work with our small businesses and preference our small businesses. So when I look at tonight's honorees, I know that there is a focus on concrete and monumental concrete. And I want to, when I think about our, there you are, when I think about our almost 3 years in office, I know that we've encouraged the purchase of a lot of concrete. Just in our soccer stadium and our stadium that's going to be built at St. Elizabeth's, I know we've got those things done. When I think about even our last budget, You know, our people are tired of potholes in our roads. So we have to spend more on our local roads. And I know that Fort Myer has helped us fix many a road over all of these years. And we want to thank you for your service. I got to talk to Angel tonight, and I know his focus. And when I think about all of our focus on building quality, affordable housing, we're working with a lot of private development partners that are out looking for great contractors, general construction contractors that are going to deliver a fantastic product for their customers. And that is our job as a government, to keep the engine running. We doubled the amount of affordable housing dollars that the government is spending. And that, we know, keeps all of our private sector partners focused on what needs to be done. Then I think of our public sector partners who have billions of dollars worth of work. And Dave Velasquez, you'll be responsible for some of it at Pepco. Washington Gas has projects. Metro has significant projects, and we ourselves with WASA and the rest of DC government, we have significant projects too. The city wants to be a partner with you in making sure that we are training DC residents to help you fill those jobs, to get the work done. An unfortunate statistic is that last year, 3,200 infrastructure jobs went unfilled in DC. Don't we know DC residents who should be filling those jobs? And so that's why we're very proud to partner with Pepco, and we will create a DC Infrastructure Academy to keep those types of projects going. My friend on the council is here, Jack. I have many friends on the council, but my best friend on the council is Jack Evans from Ward 2. And Jack likes to say, and I like to repeat, that this is the most dynamic city in the world, our city. In many ways, right now, are the best of days in Washington, D.C. Our finances have never been stronger. The interest in our city from businesses far and wide has never been greater. Our streets are safer than they've been in more than 25 years. And we do indeed have a city we can be proud of. I am proud to be your mayor and have the opportunity to work on these issues with you. And I wanted to be here to congratulate real icons in industry and congratulate you on the businesses that you've built. God bless you all.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser. Just last week, I was actually on a press tour with the mayor for the new water taxis in DC. And how cool is that we now have water taxis in DC? And that whole area has just been completely developed. So many new jobs were created because of that. So thank you so much, Mayor Bowser, for transforming our city, Washington, DC, and for being here tonight with us. And now we welcome to the stage Kevin Sharkey with Turner Construction Company and Allison Kokoros with Carlos Rosario International Public Charter School.
Before they begin, I just wanted to do two things. Number one, all of those in the back that have got their certificates from the Turner School, give a big shout out and clap. Stand up, the people that went through. Stand up if you went. Look at, show your certificates. They did 15 hours of training in construction management in Spanish. Good for you. Congratulations. And finally, we're going to put the picture of the students up and their names. We're going to have a lot of video challenges tonight. But the first one is, we want you, there it is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Good evening. Well, my name again is Allison Kokoros, and I work at one of the most magical places to work, the Carlos Rosario International Public Charter School here in Washington, D.C. A national model for adult education and immigrant integration that is growing. And as you know, we have 2 campuses here in Washington, D.C. We're serving 2,100 students today in these 2 campuses between morning, afternoon, and evening classes, 70% of whom are Latino. So it really is serving the Latino community as it always has been. At our school, 90% of the students who are enrolled in career training programs gain career certifications, and our school has been named a Tier 1 school for the past 3 years by the DC Public Charter School Board, as long as they've been tiering adult ed public charter schools. So it's a school of excellence. We're a growing and adaptive organization. We just last year created a new strategic plan for the next 4 years of growth for our organization with 3 key priorities: growth, leadership development, and continued excellence of the school model. And that's where this wonderful partnership with Turner comes in and fits seamlessly with our school's goals for growth, and also as a manifestation of the dream of Alberto Gomez, who I'm not sure if he's here tonight, but our board chair emeritus, who had that dream of the Carlos Rosario School starting a construction academy. And that dream is now coming true thanks to this wonderful partnership with Turner, and thanks to the Hispanic Contractors Association and Jose Suero. Yes, bringing us all together. An applause for the association. So, why is this initiative important to our school? As our mayor was just mentioning, DC is experiencing the most construction activity in more than 5 decades, and we see that driving around the District of Columbia. And with the Latino community representing nearly 30% of the construction workforce, the time has come for this really innovative initiative that we partnered in with Turner Construction. So it was a huge honor when we were asked to be a partner with Turner in this historic partnership of providing specialized content around construction management in the Spanish language to small business entrepreneurs and future workforce professionals within the industry. We were pleased as a school to host all 60 attendees, many of whom are here tonight, and the Turner Construction subject matter experts at our Harvard Street campus. We were pleased to facilitate the process of translating the subject matter content from English into Spanish, and pleased that our Carlos Rosario School students and small business program participants saw the value in these workshops and were encouraged to achieve their dreams as a result of their participation. I think we have in the room one of the participants, Onan Zelaya, who's a student at our school. Onan, you should stand up if you're here. There's Onan. He is one of the many participants. He's a student at our school and just started his own business 2 years ago. He attended every workshop of the Turner Management Academy workshop at our school, and today feels more empowered to attend pre-bid conferences and better prepared to start networking with all of you who are here tonight. So Onan has his business cards, and the rest of our graduates came with their business cards as well. So I'd like to thank Turner Construction, Alberto Gomez for planting the seed, my mentor, Sonia Gutierrez, for all of your support. This amazing man here, Raul Medrano, on our team who coordinated the project, did a fantastic job. Dr. Ryan Monroe, our Chief Academic Officer, Jose Suero, and the Hispanic contractors who brought us all together. There he is. And my partners in crime over here, Kevin and Carolyn with Turner Construction. I have a request of all of you before I close. We're hoping that Onan succeeds in getting a contract with Turner Construction, but in addition to that, not putting you on the spot at all, but in addition to that, that he and the other graduates of this innovative program, that you offer them contracts, that you offer them jobs, because they're very well trained and they're very passionate and they're ready to go. So do I have your commitment? Thank you. Congratulations, graduates.
Good evening. I'm Kevin Sharkey, Vice President, General Manager with Turner Construction, and we'll start with just a round of applause for the honorees tonight. Congratulations, guys. Turner has, we've had a School of Construction Management it started in 1969, and it's grown in size, and we do it in all of our 46 offices across the country. We've graduated more than 36,000 students over those 50 years, 48 years, and so it's no exception here in the Mid-Atlantic region. So the school is based on a curriculum of estimating and purchasing and scheduling and cost control and finance and field operations and so on with regard to the construction industry, and it's aimed at the minority and women-based contractors and to give them skill sets where they can start to get progressively larger initial contracts and larger contracts as they go. And this year we were approached by we joined with the Rosario School and did, as Allison said, the first time ever in those 48 years, a all Spanish speaking class, and huge success. And we've got, as you heard earlier, all the students that graduated tonight. We've got some 52 students in the room that graduated, and we'd like to give them another round of applause.
Hello. I just wanted to say that I really firmly believe the construction business is a relationship business, and I have the honor of running the Turner School, and I always say to my students, meet your cousins, because you're going to have to know each other. This class would not have been possible without my cousins at Turner, and we would just really, it would be a problem if we didn't acknowledge our Turner team who gave up nights with their children and hours to put this course together. So please acknowledge, I want to acknowledge our team. Stand up. And then finally in closing, I feel like Ancestry.com. I hope you meet all your new cousins. I'm very excited about my new family and hope you indeed do give them contracts. I'm certainly going to keep talking to Kevin about that as well. Thank you.
And when I did hear your challenge to do this all in Spanish, and I did take Spanish lessons this summer, but so I'm just going to spare you all, okay? So, okay.
This is, I don't think she said her name. This is the incomparable Carolyn Ellison. You know, she actually came up with it. She was the one that said, I wonder if we could do this in Spanish, and my light bulb started, I had fireworks in my head when she said it, but it really was her, and she took it to Kevin, and Turner has been just remarkable, remarkable. Thank you. Okay, so I'm trying to move this along because I know, but it's all exciting to me. So I'm going to do the next one, and then my partner Claudia can do the one after. So the next thing on our agenda is we'd like to invite Pedro Alfonso back. Pedro? Pedro is the owner of DCI. He is the head of a national small business organization with over 74,000 members, and he's the chair. He's not the chair on my board, he's just the board member. So for tonight, board member, Metro DC Hispanic Contractors, he'll introduce Mr. David Velasquez.
Thank you, Jose. Buenas noches a todos. Estoy aquí a presentar a un señor que yo creo es un tigre de negocio en esta ciudad de Washington, D.C. For those of you who call Jones, I'll interpret for you. But this evening, I'd like to introduce what I think is what we have is a new tiger of an executive in our community in Washington, D.C. as an executive of Pepco Holding Corporation. PHI it now has is its CEO, David Velasquez. He came up through the ranks, formerly CEO of Connective Energy, and moved into Senior Vice President of Pepco Holdings, and now CEO and President of that organization. It is a subsidiary, as many of you know, of Exelon, and as an Exelon corporation, it has a tremendous amount of commitment to small business. Pepco in itself had a commitment, and now collectively it could provide tremendous opportunity to many small businesses. David is in itself, Pepco Holding has over 4,700 employees, controls over $16 billion in assets, has over close to $5 billion in revenue, and it is a powerhouse of our local community. It's interesting that David's on many boards, Federal City Council, Board of Trade, even the National Zoo, but also as his commitment to small businesses has been on the advisory committee of the American Association of Blacks in Energy, so has a connection to small businesses. One of the most interesting things about David Velasquez, I would say, is in an interview with the Washington Business Journal, and asked who did he admire as a business executive. Who did he admire as a business executive? And his response was not one individually, but he admired all small business owners in America because they have the commitment and the energy and the creativity to do what they do. And so what he is saying is he controls $16 billion in assets, but he admires all of you. He admires you for what you do. And for Pepco Holdings to have that type of executive, and for us to have that type of executive available to our community is very special. And with that, I'd like to have David Velasquez come up.
So good evening. Thank you, and thanks to the Construction Alliance. It truly is an honor to be standing up here in front of all of you, so many successful in the business world this evening. Part of my resume that Pedro did not talk about was I actually, early in my career, had the opportunity to run a small heating, air conditioning, plumbing business. And that was my introduction to leading a business, and it made me very, very aware of what you do every day, the challenges you face every day, which is why when I was asked that question by the Washington Business Journal, I did not hesitate for a second. I knew exactly who the most hardworking, tried, true, successful businesses are in this country, and it is the small businesses. It is also why, and I will speak more about it, we at Pepco, I at Pepco, are so committed to making sure that we provide those opportunities to smaller businesses who are local and diverse in our community. You know, we have had the honor at Pepco of serving the district for more than 120 years, and we often get focused on the fact that our job is to provide safe, reliable, affordable, and sustainable energy to all of our customers. But our job has always been much more than that. Our job has always been to make sure we're energizing the diverse local communities where we live and work. And why is that so important? Because the real secret behind Pepco is not the real secret, the real energy behind Pepco is really the strong, skilled, diverse workforce we have. That is the only way that we are successful. As many of you are aware, and as Pedro mentioned, it's been about 18 months since we merged with Exelon, and I thank many of you in this room who were with us throughout that process and for your support and encouragement as well, recognizing the value that that merger would bring. And I am here to tell you that we are seeing that value today, not just only in improved service delivery and reduced operational costs, but just as importantly, in the enhanced opportunities for us to contribute more significantly to the district and to the businesses in the district. Exelon is committed at every level to diversity and inclusion. Pepco has always been committed to diversity and inclusion. We know that our companies are stronger, that our companies are better when we engage a broad range of the perspectives, the experience, the expertise that we can find in the communities that we serve. We take great efforts to make sure we maximize those contracting opportunities for local and diverse suppliers. Today, we make sure and ensure that diverse contractors are considered in every one of our bidding opportunities. We report our outcomes on our progress annually to all of our commissions. I wanted to mention a few things very briefly that we have been doing since the merger with Exelon. We implemented a new Target 25 program, and a few companies in this room that are participants in that. The program is designed with a clear goal. It's to maximize the participation of local and minority-owned businesses in contracting opportunities. We assist the participants. It's a year-long program in growing their enterprise. There's one-on-one interactions, not just at my level, at the executive level, but also with the people who direct work day in, day out to build those relationships. Provide an emphasis on safety practices as well. As the mayor mentioned earlier, we were very proud to partner with her in training and strengthening the local workforce through the Infrastructure Training Academy, where we have contributed, us and Exelon, $5 million to starting that academy, and have also pledged ongoing support as that academy gets off the ground. In addition, we've partnered on the shorter term with the District of Columbia Department of Employment Services, the University of the District of Columbia Community College, and also the Workforce Investment Council to implement a program called Quick Pathways to Energy. And we just had our most recent cohort, our most recent class at our Benning Service Facility, and are looking forward to being able to bring some of those students into our workforce on a full-time basis. It's incredibly important for us to hire from our backyard. I want to always be able to walk around our offices every day and see in the hallways, see out in the field, see on our docks, people that live and work in the community and reflect the community that we serve. Pepco's a local company, will always be a local company. I want you to know that in 2016, we spent $195 million with diverse suppliers. Over $50 million of that was with CBE firms right here in the District of Columbia, and we need to do better. Exelon also marked a significant milestone this summer. They were inducted into what's called the $1 Billion Roundtable. It's a select group of companies, and it's the first energy company that was able to join this group of US-based corporations that achieve over $1 billion in annual direct spending with minority and women-owned businesses. Our job is to do better each year, and we seek to improve each year. As a lot of folks know, we have two major projects and also hundreds of other projects underway in the district and in the neighboring counties to improve our system reliability. Many of you have heard of DC Plug, which we hope to start very soon. We have also filed with the Commission a notice of construction for another large project called the Capital Grid Project. These projects mean more opportunities for local businesses, local contractors. I want you to know that I am committed, that Pepco is committed, that Exelon is committed to making sure that we work very proactively to make sure that those opportunities that these projects will bring work with local and diverse contractors, that there is really meaningful participation in these projects as well. So in closing, I want to offer my congratulations to each of the honorees tonight. Your recognition is well-deserved. Your leadership is clear. Thank you for that, and thank you for having me here this evening, and I look forward to the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Velasquez. And now we are pleased to welcome Mr. Stephen Courtien for choice.
Good evening, everybody. I work for Choice. We're the Community Hub for Opportunities and Construction Alliance. Employment. We're changing our name because it's too long. We're going back to the building trades. We represent all the construction unions in Washington, D.C. We spend on over $22 million a year on training employees in the city. Before I get ahead of myself, all three contractors that are getting honored tonight we've worked with for decades. I believe I was asking around, Fort Myers is the longest union company in Washington, D.C. We've worked with them this entire time. They are, to us, what we like to show as a company that's union, is successful. By him being union shows that he's taking care of his employees, making sure that they can retire and they work safely every day. We work with him on a daily basis on training. The building trades motto is value on display. Every day we want to make sure that we're showing that we're competitive, that we're providing the contractor, our customer, what they need. Well-trained employees, apprentices, whatever it is, we're there to help. That's us. I have a whole table over there with some of my trades there. Please go talk to them. If you are a contractor looking for workers, training, whatever you need, we got it. That's it on us. I wanted to say one thing about the Construction Alliance. And Jose here. The Construction Alliance, we started that, I think it was 4 years ago. Me and Jose had worked on and off together for a couple years, and he came up with the idea, brought us all together, Stan Jackson, Rosalind, Carlos. And when we started out, we weren't really quite sure what we were doing, except we wanted to make sure that contractors, CBEs, unions, developers, and all these other good employers in the city that take care of workers, that watch out for each other, all started meeting with one another, making these connections. That's what we're here, that's what we want to do. We watch out for the worker, all these other groups watch out for you, the CBEs. The unions have never opposed minority businesses, never opposed the CBE programs in Washington, D.C. On our projects, private projects, we make sure that we're matching and bringing in small businesses, minority businesses, CBEs in the city. We want to thank you for working with us. So with the Construction Alliance, Stan, where are you? Thank you for everything that you've done and brought us some insight. Finally, just closing up, I want to thank Jose. In all honesty, all this is him. The rest of us who come up here literally just show up. He puts everything together, and I texted him this morning. I said, good luck, I love you, you're going to do a great job. But that was about all that I put into this thing. So I just want to really give him a round of applause. Thank you. The amount of work he does for this organization is amazing. And for, 2 years, you never got paid from us. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
He says he just showed up. He's a gold sponsor. This year, the unions really chipped in here. I love you, Stephen. Thank you so much. Okay, now comes the really exciting part. We're going to try and see 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. My board is all like, you got too much video, you got too much video. But I did interviews with Joe, with Angel, and with Carl, and they're sweet interviews. So we're going to put them up on our web, and we're going to try and find other ways of doing the whole thing. It was 80 minutes of interviews. You're going to see about 5 minutes of it. But right now, let's see, this is exciting. Can we do the Marion Barry video for 2 minutes? Are we ready? Well, I know you are. I want to try to see if they're ready.
A good mayor. He had some ups and downs we know about, but my opinion of him doesn't change. I think he did great for the minority contractors. He came to our meetings a lot of times, and he helped us as much as he could back there. There are jobs with the city all the time, and he can give you a job, but he can support you, and I think that this mayor that we have now is just as well a nice person and a good mayor that I think is helping everybody.
When they decided to build a metro, a group of us joined with a lobbying group, a number of people, try to persuade Congress to fund building the metro system here. The bill was sponsored, made by Reverend Coates and Reverend Jerry Moore, Nadine Winter, Willie Hardy, and Marion Berry. When he became mayor, he gave the program impetus. The program began to really take off. The timing was right, and he cultivated the right attitude among government agencies and the business community. So it was fashionable to use minority business. He just loved the program. It's plain and simple. I can say it. We shared the same ideas. He wanted to see the business succeed. He wanted to make sure that the city, the government would participate in that success.
Barry and Barry truly not only had the vision, created the programs, but he truly enforced the programs and saw that small businesses needed to grow and become viable middle income, middle class operations in the city. And so his vision really changed everything in Washington, D.C.
And now please welcome to the stage Ms. Rosalind Stiles of the National Association of Minority Contractors.
Good evening. I'm a Marion Berry alumni, and I'm proud of it. With the National Association of Minority Contractors, which is a national organization started in 1969, Marion said to me, "You can do this." I said, "Do what?" And so he talked to Turner Construction and Clark Construction and said, "We need to have a chapter right here in Washington, D.C." And so I did it. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be a member of the Construction Alliance. And it is my honor at this time, since we're talking about my dear friend Marion Berry, to introduce you to his wife. And Cora Berry has a legacy of her own. Because when you talk about construction and you're talking about empowerment and you're talking about delivering people, Cora does that. For little of you who know, when Cora was the first lady after their inaugural, she took that inaugural money and went into the neighborhood where there was bottles and glass and trash and took a playground and created something beautiful. If you've not been to the Tennyson Learning Center, you have missed a wonderful occasion. The young people in Southeast and across the city benefit from her labor. She used minority contractors. She used local business, and she continues to deliver. Now she has created the Marion Berry Legacy Foundation to keep his dreams alive. It is my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to introduce to you my friend, Cora Masters Berry.
Good evening. I won't take long. When Rosalind asked me to do this, I was like, why am I doing this? I mean, everybody knows Marion's history, and his support of minority businesses is legendary, not just in Washington, D.C., but I was in Florida, and I met this lady who I'd never met before, and she was from New York and from Wall Street. And she started telling me these stories that people talk about him in New York, how the lawyers and the companies would come to Washington to do business in the city and get business from the city. And Marion would look around the table and thank him so much for traveling from New York to Washington to get our bond business and whatever other business. He says, well, I don't see anybody around this table who looks like me. So have a nice trip back. And when you come back, have someone around this table that looks like me and who speaks another language, and we can do business. And that went on for years, and I just thought everybody knew it. So I'm just here to do one thing, which is to congratulate the honorees and say to you to continue the tradition of Marion Barry, and our wonderful mayor who has done that, because she's an acolyte of his too, Carl Jones, for a long time, known him for years, Pedro. Turner Constructions, Rosalind was talking about, we just did an $18 million renovation, and Turner Construction is one of the lead contractors on that. We had a lot of minority businesses. We've got $16 million expansion coming up in a couple of years, so I'll see some of you guys on Mississippi Avenue. Thank you.
Okay, I want to get through this because we don't, okay, no more speakers. Well, one more speaker, but that'll be at the end. We want to do the ceremonies now, but excitement again. We're going to try and put, it won't be more than 4 minutes. We want to do the rest of our video presentation. Can you roll the video? Can we get some lights down a little bit? Well, but let's roll the video.
I come up looking for the green dollar. So for 13 years I worked 1 year for a Portuguese company. I used to live on an apartment in Arlington. And his father-in-law was my mentor, Sam Bernstein. So Mr. Bernstein one day said, my son-in-law is a lawyer in contracts. He'd be a good partner with you. And we form a company. And then my brother come along too. And then he gave out the fourth shop for $1,100, and we made $400.
Someone had offered us an opportunity to build a small concrete wall, but that $400 is the entire capitalization of everything that Fort Myer construction is today.
One of the job I'm proudest for the last 20 years, I've been doing Pennsylvania Avenue for the inauguration every 4 years.
And this was 1951. I came to the United States. I was 16 years old, couldn't speak a word of English. I started working as a laborer in the Washington, D.C. area, by the way. I was making $1.25 an hour. And boy, I thought I was rich. Because I always worked on a farm, nobody paid me anything. But I have to say my favorite construction project was the John Kennedy. That's something deep in me. We moved, actually, if you remember, you don't remember, but John Kennedy was very temporary, in a temporary grave. We, since we constructed a new grave, we went out there at night with the family in a crane to pick up the casket from the temporary grave and put it on the new grave. 3 things is a goal for our business. Number 1, do good work. Number 2, pay your bills on time. Number 3, make a dollar in the process.
I came to Washington, D.C. from Alabama. I went to high school in Birmingham, Alabama. And a number of my classmates decided they were going to attend Howard University, so that's why I followed them. Civil engineering, 68 is thereabout, where I worked for the Urban Mass Transportation Administration with responsibility from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Boston, Massachusetts, on the rail system. I think of 3 that come to mind. One is the tunnel along South Dakota Avenue from Bladensburg Road to the river. It's a 8-foot diameter tunnel. It's roughly about a mile long. Here, you can't see it, but I did it during the period in which they had Camille. The Hurricane Camille came through here. I paved all 3 runways at National Airport. I paved blast pads and taxiways at Dulles and National Airport, and you could only work between 11 o'clock and 7 in the morning. So all this had to be done at night with arcane surveying equipment. It's my intention to keep providing good paying jobs for the local citizens, my local employees. I've always ran the business well. I looked after my customers, my employees, my lenders, and my vendors.
All right, we're going to present these awards. The first award, if I could have Carlos Perdomo come to the stage. And joining us, there's another surprise today, which really struck me. Yes, I'm sorry, thank you guys. The four of you, Stan, Roz, they're not going to speak, but the Alliance is going to come up and, like we did last year. So we're just going to be background, but Carlos, you want to say what's going to happen and do the intro?
Sure. I was very honored when I was asked to speak and or present Angel Rubin with his award. Angel has affected our family. My father, from his very beginnings, Angel was the one that mentored him and gave him the opportunity through that mentorship to get bonding and the cash and doing jobs together that actually helped change the path of our family's history. So I'm eternally grateful on behalf of my family, Angel, for that mentorship and that friendship that you showed to my father and changing the life of the Perdomo family. Thank you very much for that. The mayor has a special recognition that Director Gillis of DGS would like to also recognize you with.
Sir, thank you for your honor. Mayor Bosmer wanted to make sure that you definitely received this honor. And she said, as mayor of Washington, D.C., it is my pleasure to extend congratulations to Angel Rubin of Rubin and Gennaro on your award as an iconic pioneer from the Construction Alliance at today's Diversity in Construction reception. Thank you.
It takes a little longer to get out. Thank you. I don't have much to say other than Carlos got it wrong. I'm the one that I am grateful for having the opportunity to meet his father and working with him and get the Chamber of Commerce as well as the HACA, we call it those days, going. Because we got together, your father and I got together and we were the one that started the beginning. So I thank you and your family and your father because it's been wonderful. You have a wonderful family, which to me, that is the best family in the world. Your family. And of course, your friends helps too. Thank you. And the mayor, I want to say something about the new mayor, which is the first time I met her today. I think she's wonderful. Our relation with Marion Berry was always great. He done a great job for the minority community. Thank you.
invite Mr. Donnelly and Carl to come up to the stage, please.
While Carl makes his way up here, Roz and I would certainly just want to make a couple of comments about Mr. Jones, who's truly the embodiment of passing it forward. A man of few words, but many, many amazing attributes. We're just so proud to be able to honor Mr. Jones, I call him, who I am very proud to call a friend, a mentor, and truly a visionary. Thank you for all you have done for this great city.
Carl was one of the very first contractors that I met through Marion. I know more about concrete and asphalt than I ever knew, thanks to Carl. Because he took me to the shop and he put the jars up on the counter and he said, Roslyn, this is what you need to do when you got good concrete. And this is what you gotta do when you got good asphalt. And I said, okay. And that was one of my first introductions in the construction trades, and I love it. Thank you, Carl.
For those of you that haven't had the dubious pleasure of meeting me, I'm Ken Donnelly, retired chief engineer from the Water and Sewer Utility Administration. I'm here tonight to introduce my colleague and friend, Carl Jones, who is obviously a success, else he wouldn't be here tonight to be honored. Carl has been successful for many reasons, like everything contributes to success. But three things I remember about Carl when he was starting out: he had a quiet desire and determination that really served him well. He had the desire to learn from his experiences, and pretty importantly, from those of others. And thirdly, Carl had a distinct ability to bring people together to resolve many facets of issues and problems that face you in this kind of work. Carl graduated from the Howard University with a degree in civil engineering. Ultimately, he was registered as a certified professional engineer in several states, including the District of Columbia. Carl worked for RLA and ended for a number of years, and in anticipation of the MBE program, Carl left a comfortable job in the government to go into private industry. Carl ultimately participated in the MBE program, and he is a model of success for what he did. The first company that he started and was very successful with, among other companies he did, was Jones and Artis. They were very successful in the MBE program, and eventually, in concert with the desires and concepts of the MBE program, Carl was able to bid in the open market successfully. Carl did work at Blue Plains in team with a majority contractor. The firm that they came up with, the name of it was JAB, Jones and Artis Bevard Brothers. They handled all of the disposal of the sludge generated at Blue Plains for a number of years. They spread it on vast farmlands, both in Maryland and Virginia. And then eventually, Carl was successful in operating the compost program at Blue Plains, which was a little bit difficult because it was somewhat experimental in nature, but it had to produce. And the reason it was experimental, it was the first time that anybody had tried to do static pile composting at the scale that Carl was doing it. So, and then, okay, well, I had a lot more to say about it, Carl, but I guess I'm going to say. I want to say one more thing. We've had an open market project that Carl successfully bid on. It was an element of the Crosstown Water Main. It was advertised on the open market. Carl successfully won the project. It was a 72-inch pipeline from MacArthur Boulevard and Foxhole Road to Del Carlia Reservoir. It was completed on time, within budget, and few, if any, complaints from the citizenry. Thank you.
Thank you. What a distinguished career. And Mr. Jones, I just want to share this with you from our mayor, Mayor Bowser. She says, your legacy as a leader in DC's construction trades is very nearly unmatched. Having worked with former Mayor Marion S. Berry to establish what is now the Certified Business Enterprise Program, your continued dedication to the empowerment of African American construction contractors has helped all Washingtonians to participate in today's and tomorrow's prosperity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'll assure you that I'll be brief. But I want to thank everybody. Thank the Alliance. I want to thank the two MB mayors, Marion Berry and Muriel Bowser. And I would like to thank the other two honorees because they are close personal friends, and we worked very close together for a number of years. Angel Rubin and Joe Rodriguez, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention my good friend Louis Rensky. So thank you all, and the other names is just too many to cite. Given the length of time that I'm under. Thank you. Thank you.
We truly have left the best for last. I'm going to take a privilege here before I ask Louis Shrensky to come up to the stage, but I just want to tell you, first of all, we're going to have the entire video of all three of them on websites, on Fort Myers and on ours, because you have to see the rest of it. I didn't see the video till it was here. We've been running, I haven't slept in 4 days. But I want to just say that when I went into Joe's office and Louis showed me, I know I got to do this because we shortchanged Fort Myers a little bit, so I need to tell this story. When I walked into Joe Rodriguez's office, Louis Shrensky pointed to a portrait. He said, "You know who those guys are?" He says, "Yeah, that's Joe, but it looks like some sort of senator. I said, Christopher Dodd or something like that." And he said to me, "No, that was me with him when they were young." I have the utmost respect at having met you. You're a remarkable man. The three honorees are remarkable, but so is Mr. Louis Shrensky. Would you come up, please? And please, a really strong Fort Myers, Evelyn
Without you, sweetheart. Thank you very much. For 50 years plus, Jose Rodriguez has been working in Washington, D.C., fixing and building the streets of our beautiful city. He started in our city as a laborer, quickly became a foreman and a superintendent, and history well tells it, in 1972, he started his own company. And over those 50 years, I would say he's been just about on every street in our city. And some say he probably knows where all the bodies are buried. I'm not sure we can tell that story, but I can tell you the truth, he probably knows where all the pipes are located. And over the years, Joe has evidenced his absolute love for construction and his love for his company. And he comes still, even today, he comes to work to be the first at work at 4:30 in the morning to welcome all the workers. It's quite an amazing feat. And he has an open door policy. He wants to be with the workers. He wants to be with the subcontractors. He wants to still be with the suppliers. He loves his business. And truly, this award you're giving him tonight is absolutely fitting. And it is my honor to introduce my partner, Jose Rodriguez.
While Mr. Rodriguez comes up, I'd just like to read the proclamation from Mayor Bowser for Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, the mayor says, DC is the capital of inclusion, and at the heart of our great city's renaissance are the many leaders like you that drive the construction industry's focus and critical work, in particular, the diversity in which your firm demands and drives. Thanks in part to your hard work, your private sector job growth, and outpacing public sector job growth, DC is one of the top 3 strongest local economies in our country, and we owe it all to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Well, I think my partner say everything for me, but I have a couple of things I like to say. I'm born in Argentina, Comodoro Rivadavia. When I was 7 years old, my father and my mother went back to Portugal. I was in Portugal till I was 18 years old. I come to the United States in 1959 with $3 in my pocket, but with the goal to make it, and the sky is the limit. And in 1972, we formed a company together, Fort Myers. We started with nothing, and the first job we did was $1,100. We made $400. But then the success come along. Mr. Marion Barry was the mayor, and when he was the mayor, we got an opportunity to be a minority contractor and to be able to bid the work. And the success was get along with everybody, treat everybody fair, keep you part of the bargain, and give you honor. Shake hands like I did with Angel, like I did with Carl, millions of dollar deals, never was a problem. And that's a success story. But since Mario Bonza been mayor for the city, been a success. Because before, a lot of times, we have to be jobs to keep busy. There was not enough work. Today, the city is booming. You go around, you count the cranes, 72 cranes. That means jobs for everybody. Plenty of road work, bridge work. So we live in a good time. It's a shame I'm 76 years old. I wish I was 10 years younger. Because there's no excuse right now, because there's no work. There's plenty of work. And all we have to do is go after and be successful and make a dollar, like Angel says. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to close out the program, but before we do, we absolutely have to get in a pitch for Puerto Rico. Jose Ortiz, did you leave? Well, come on, guy. Everybody wants to go home. Nobody wants to stay around no more. I told him we'd do 2 minutes here at the end.
Well, while he makes it to the stage, I just want to congratulate once again all the awardees, and also congratulate all the graduates from Carlos Rosario International Public Charter School. And wish them the best of luck and success in this very important industry.
So, don't go away.
So, first of all, I want to thank the Construction Alliance for allowing me to do this. Jose is amazing, the people here is amazing, Carlos, Edwin, and reality is, and I graduated from the Turner College in '98. So, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to do this because of why. And the 20th, Puerto Rico got destroyed, and since then I haven't stopped. I called everyone in the city they can imagine, and I'm Jose Ortiz. I'm a flooring contractor. I'm All-State Floors, and I also founded Run Hope Work, which is a nonprofit here in the Southeast, which is a workforce development that is about that believes that work transforms any community, and it's a three-legged way, which is mind, body, and spirit. So that's what Run Hope Work is about. And now based on Puerto Rico, what's happening is this: since the Puerto Rico happened, I've been making a lot of calls, and I want to thank also the mayor. She's been amazing. She's a great friend and an amazing leader here in the city. So I really appreciate that also. And then since it happened, we had 2 missions. I made 22,000 calls. Finally got a hold of administration, Aguada. The first show was on October 10th. We took medicine, antibiotics, insulin. It was completely destroyed. We went back on the 10th. And we called everyone. FedEx wouldn't allow us to be. FEMA wouldn't allow us to go in. We went to the northwest of the island. So just to let you know what's going on now is Puerto Rico is not forgotten. So please keep moving. Puerto Rico is destroyed. It needs you. It needs tons of medicine. It needs all the help that it can. Right now there's an event. This is on Saturday, which is called Bike to Brooklyn. Bike to Brooklyn is actually a fundraiser for Run Hope Work, and is a 267-mile bike ride in 30 hours in a half marathon at the end in Brooklyn. And it starts here on Saturday, Adams Morgan. So if you want to join, it's at 5:30 in the morning, and we're going to be hitting Baltimore, we're going to be hitting Wilmington, Philadelphia, New York, then we're going to Manhattan, then we're going to hit Brooklyn. So please share it. It's Bike to Brooklyn. Please like it. I know I have to go. What I'm asking you is to please check it out. My phone is 443-324-9691. Go to Facebook, is Bike to Brooklyn, and just like it, please. And you check out all the videos of what's happening, and we'll keep going to Puerto Rico. Thank you so much for allowing me to share.
God bless you. Jose Ortiz, All-State Flooring, is a member of Metro DC Hispanic Contractors, one of the first members. Okay, we're going to say goodnight again, but first, this is for you, sweetheart. Thank you, Claudia Curiel. Somebody's got to take these flowers. I'm giving it, it's all women. Where is Kathleen Dubois? Kathleen, will you come to the stage? Kathleen, would you come to the stage? Will somebody takes this to the table of Sonia Gutierrez? Sonia, these are for you. It's all women. The women did this. Evelyn, you were absolutely sensational. I am so impressed with Fort Myer. Fort Myer, what a company you guys have built. It's just amazing. No, not you, Kathleen. You have to come up here. Kathleen is the event organizer. She's the event planner. Kathleen, she's been wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, you want to say some parting words?
No, I just want to thank everyone for being here, for the privilege of their time, and please enjoy the rest of your evening.
There's still food and there's still drink. Thank you all so much for coming. So much. This has been blessed. This has been wonderful. Thank you.